exposure to this new trends in cybersecurity. So what's going to be the future of cybersecurity, and what as the internet users, right, should be aware about, right? So we have to be so careful when we are surfing internet, right? So how we can protect ourselves, because we are surfing internet a lot, right? So people might ask you this question, right? Why we need to learn cybersecurity, right? There's only one reason, right? According to me, anyone can learn cybersecurity, right? So people may have different ideas, like only the people who are so interested on cybersecurity, right, who are seeking for a career in cybersecurity, right, who should learn cybersecurity. So that's nothing like that. We all have to learn cybersecurity because we all are using internet, right? We are users of the internet. If I ask you this question, do we need to know about road safety? Can I ask you that question, audience? Do we need to know about road safety? So the safety things we should know, right? Because we all use road. We all travel on the road. We all have vehicles, right? We all drive. So we have to know about the road safety things, right? We have to know the science and everything. And we have to know how to, understand this and how to use this science, right? When there's a pedestrian crossing, right, we have to know it's a pedestrian crossing. There should be science. So likewise, we all are using internet a lot. We all are dependent on our basic needs for the internet, right? So especially your generation, right? You are dependent on internet. There's nothing wrong in it. Your generation should be depending on internet, even for food, right? Even for education. Could you remember the situation we had during this COVID-19 period? So internet was only the relief for us, right? We were using internet a lot, even for every basic need of us. So you guys are eligible to learn the cybersecurity, because you are using cyber a lot. Cyber means internet. So like we have to know road safety to travel in the road, we have to know cybersecurity to surf internet, right? So cyber means internet, so internet security. That's why everyone should learn cybersecurity. It's not all about getting a good job or just focusing on a career or earn from this field. But more important is you have to safeguard yourself, because you are a user of the internet. Okay, so with that message, can I dive into the session, right? So as you could see here, the new trends in cybersecurity, you're going to learn what is going to be the cybersecurity in the future. Before that, let's get into know what is cybersecurity. So as I said before, cybersecurity is all about protecting ourselves from internet, simply. So if you guys surfing the social media, I think all of you all have accounts in social media, right? Facebook might be, LinkedIn might be, WhatsApp might be, everyone is using. The only requirement to use all these software, we call them communication software, because they need internet. Without internet, it's useless. So if you want, right, you can take your phone and see, your smartphone and see how many apps which need internet, otherwise they are useless. So almost every app in your mobile phone needs internet, right? So they are known as communication apps. So you are using internet a lot. You can ensure that you guys are using internet a lot, because your apps need internet to perform. So we have to safeguard ourselves from this internet. Not only you means your personal information. We call personally identifiable information, right? Have to be protected. How many of you know there's a big market for your information in the dark web? Have you heard about this dark web? You can see only 10% of the internet that you guys are surfing, like Google, Facebook, or might be LinkedIn or the YouTube, whatever you search, right? Whatever you refer is just 5 or like 60% of the internet. But the major side of the internet is dark web, right? Where you don't have access to. So your information has a big demand for others. So what these hackers or these people do, they collect all your sensitive information, right? Through different ways, right? Sometimes they can get into your device without your notice and collect all the information, or else there are many ways where they can get all your sensitive information. Since there's a big market, right, for your information in the dark web, they can sell this information. I'll come up with a very simple example. So if, as a hacker, right, can get into an hospital chain, right, a private, maybe an hospital, and get into the database and collect all the sensitive information of the patients. You may wonder, what is the big deal in this information? Patient's records, right? Patient, the disease the particular patient is diagnosing, and it's a personal information. I'm talking about the patients. So someone get into this database, collected all the information. And what would be the next move? So this information could be sold in the dark web to all pharmaceutical companies maybe. Why pharmaceutical companies are so interested? Because they need their customers. Now we know the disease, right? We know the status of the disease, and also we know the contact information. So this could be a good value for them. So they are ready to get this information from dark web. Did you understand that? Right. So cybersecurity, that's why I said, it's not only for the people who are trying to pursue a career in cyber, it's all for everyone. So we have to protect our information, ourselves, right, as well as devices and our colleagues from this internet. So cybersecurity is all about that, protecting ourselves from internet. Some common attacks, sometimes it's more into technical things. Have you heard about virus? Virus is more popular than malware, right? Virus, right? So the umbrella term is malware. So anything that could harm someone else or produced to harm someone else, to do something really bad to someone else, we call malicious software, malware. So there are plenty of malware developers there in the internet, right, who work in the dark web to produce malware. Even a software engineer also can think in this way. There's nothing difference between a software engineer and a malware engineer. They are working towards a requirement. If I give my requirement to produce a virus to you as a software engineer, you can produce and give me, then you are a malware engineer. It's all about a requirement. So producing malware is not a big thing. It's just a matter of meeting some requirements. Okay? And also, you have heard about this popular phishing. How many of you have experience with phishing? Yeah, you know about phishing, right? How do you get phishing? So you get emails, right? Most of the time, you get emails which can mislead you sometimes. They are so attractive, they wanted you to do something, click something and move on. So it's like they are playing with your emotions, where they trick you to click something. They want just a click from you, not anything else. They put effort to make it click, make a click and navigate to somewhere else. Let's say there's an email that you're getting. It says, right, if you want to win something like this, right, you want to click this, there's a Facebook link, you get into this. You also click this, it's a Facebook link for you, right? The Facebook page opens and you give the username and the password. For you, how did you identify whether it's Facebook or not? Maybe the logo, maybe the blue screen, but it's not most of the time. There's a thing called cloning. We can clone a website as we want. If I need to produce a Facebook looking website, it's just a few minutes for me. There are softwares like cloners. You can give the site's info, www.facebook.com, it can clone and give you another site. But this time you can't use the same URL, but they trick you like www.facebook, but there's 3 O's in it. That's not Facebook, that's Facebook kind of. But you don't notice it because you are so, tricked. You are just thinking about the award that you get. You are in a hurry, they put you in a hurry, but they need you to click it and give you your sensitive information. So once you give your username and the password, what they do, they collect your username and the password, then they redirect you to the actual Facebook page. And next time when you try to log in, gone. Because they have the control of you. This is how most of our students, most of our people who have no aware about cyber security, when they surf internet, they get into trouble. You don't know how many students come to me and say, sir, our Facebook accounts got hacked. So there's only two ways. There are two ways on. One, due to phishing things. Without your notice, right, the information might be collected. The second method is, you have said your username and the password. So most of the time you don't do that, right? You don't say this is your username, this is your password to someone. The second method is, as I said to you, right, phishing. This is the only way they can get your username and the password. So be aware about it. So that is phishing. So phishing simply tricks human or users, right? So if a cyber attack wants to attack us, can you get that? If a cyber attack wants to target us, to attack us, we should have something called weakness. Did you get it? In Sinhala, right, Durvalata. In Tamil, we say, what do you call weakness? In Tamil? Kuraipaadu, maybe, right? A weakness we should have a weakness, right? So if you want to get a disease, you should have some weaknesses. Otherwise, the disease won't get into you, right? Won't impact you. So the major thing is, we have to understand our weaknesses. Actually, there are 4 types of weaknesses. User weakness. User weakness, you guys are weak because human is emotionally attached. So humans can be tricked, right? By the emotions, by playing with the emotions. So that is user weakness. So the phishing basically targets user weakness. There's a thing called system weakness, where every device has its own weakness. That's why you have heard about Microsoft, they release patches. Why they release patches? Because time to time they identify some weaknesses in their software, they release it. That's a good thing, that's good, there's nothing wrong with Microsoft regarding this. But the thing is, if a hacker gets to know about these weaknesses, they can misuse it. If I know that there's a weakness in your system, and this is why the Microsoft is releasing some patch, before you update it, I may misuse that weakness and get into your system. Are you getting it? Right. So that is system weakness. The third weakness is configuration weakness, right? Now, sometimes you guys are also really good. You have no user weakness. You know about all these different phishing attacks and all. You're so smart now. You have a device which has no problem at all. They are also so smart. But let's say, right, you have heard about antivirus software, a safeguard, right, that you have, or firewall might be. So these might be configured incorrectly. Sometimes this could be a weakness where hackers can get into your system. Your security guard is weak, kind of, right? You are so good, your internal things are also good, but your security guard is so weak. So we call firewalking. You navigate through firewall, you bypass the firewall and get into the system, might be. Are you getting this? The third weakness. What would be the fourth weakness? Fourth type of weakness we call protocol weakness. Since there are some IT guys here, right? You know about protocols, right? HTTP, HTTPS. What is the difference? Anyone can say that's S, right? What does S stands for? Secure, right? Or SSL might be. So technical. So if you are using HTTP instead of HTTPS, what is the problem? Anyone can get your information. If someone can tap, because internet is a place where everyone is connected. If Facebook can access you from USA, if you can access Facebook from Sri Lanka, means anyone can access you from anywhere. Am I correct? The connection is already made because that's the internet. You don't think so, right? Only Facebook I can access. If I can access Facebook, you can access someone else also. That's what hackers have thought. They can. Within seconds they can. Because the connection is already there. So, such weakness, right, we call protocol weakness. If we are using a weak protocol, like HTTP for our communication, if you are using telnet for our communication, if you are not using encryption, any protocol based on encryption, it's going to be a weakness. So tell me the 4 types of weaknesses I told you now. Just a feedback. This is not a lecture session. Can someone memorize the 4 types of weakness, ma'am? Use of weakness, human, they play with humans' emotions, right? They trick you. We call social engineering. Note down the term, social engineering. They play with humans' emotions. They trick you, like phishing. They make you to click something. Second type of weakness, configuration weakness. Actually, we discussed as the third parameter, configuration weakness. Some misconfigurations in the security solution. Actually, the second was what? System weaknesses. Some weaknesses in operating system might be, a software might be. For that only, the vendors produce really soft patches. The fourth type is protocol weakness. You are using a very insecure protocol for communication. So one of this could lead to a cyber attack. We are not always thinking about system weakness, right? Protocol weakness. If the user is so weak, if the user is still writing the passwords and keeping on a notepad, or if the user is still writing the passwords and keeping under the keyboard, I don't know what to say. So any type of weakness could be, right? Could be misused, and that could lead to a cyber attack. We call cyber attack. So we should have weakness to get a cyber attack to us. If the weakness is not there, there's no way for a cyber attack to attack us. Are you getting it? So what you guys have to do now? You have to know, before hackers identify your weakness, you have to know your weakness. There are 2 ways to survive in this world, right? One is, you have to know your weakness and you have to move forward. You have to have the necessary safeguards. Second way is what? You don't reveal your weakness. You don't say to anyone. You're so silent. You're so isolated. So the second method won't work, right? We can't work in an isolated way. So the first method, yes, we have to know our weakness. We have to find a solution for that and move on. Are you getting it? Thanks. Right? So, yeah. Is there any problem with? All right, thanks. So, have you heard about ransomware? It's another popular cyber attack. You have to know this. How many of you know about ransomware? Yes. So, ransomware is all about, have you heard about encryption? Encrypting something, right? So, what this ransomware does, it gets into a computer and encrypts everything. And when you open the file, now it asks for a key. If you give the key only, what do you want? If you pay the ransom only, they're going to give you the key. Are you getting this? So there are many important files in your computer. Let's say tomorrow there's a submission for you, an assignment, or for business people, they say tomorrow there's an agreement that you have to sign. You have everything in your computer, maybe a billion worth agreement. Tomorrow you want to sign. Today, when you try to open the file, they all got encrypted. They are in different format. We can't recognize the things there. So now a message pops up and say, yes, it's encrypted. Now you can't open the file, it's locked. So if you want the message back, if you want the file back, give me the key. You want the key, right? So in order to get the key, you have to pay this ransom, money. If you pay the money only, we'll be giving you the key. So this is called ransomware. So ransomware is a future for us because ransomware has become a biggest problem for cybersecurity. Because executing a ransomware is nothing, right? It's a very simple thing. In the internet there are services like education services. There are services for ransomware in the dark web, right? There are sites which can produce you ransomware. For example, if I want to attack one of you guys through ransomware, I can go to this site, pay them through bitcoins, cryptocurrencies, and get the ransomware. And they instruct us how to execute this ransomware to encrypt one of you guys. So it has been so sophisticated, so easy. That's why ransomware has to be focused. Social engineering is all about playing with human emotions. No, nothing technical here, right? It's all about some day-to-day tricks where we used to trick humans. right? Social engineering. So these are some common attacks. Are you okay with it? Right, good. Next, the role of cybersecurity. Why we have to learn cybersecurity, right? Because I told you during my introduction, we all rely on internet a lot. We do all our basic things using internet. There's no doubt about it, right? So we have to know the different problems we might get. If you don't know about road accidents, right? Yes, if you're not aware about it, you will be in trouble, right? Likewise, if you don't know about cyber attacks and how they can work, what signs they show, right? And how to protect ourselves from the cyber attack using internet is going to be damn difficult for you. Are you getting it? Right. And why cybersecurity? Yes, I have said to you several times because you guys are staying a lot in the online, and the cyber attacks are so sophisticated. It's very frequent these days, right? There are many software developers, many malware developers. They all work in good internet and the bad internet, right? So it's so difficult for us to protect ourselves. So yeah, cybersecurity should be taught, should be learned to protect ourselves from this dangerous internet. Because only 5-6% is what you are surfing, 95% is hidden for you. You have no rights to get into these places where they do all illegal things. For example, drug trafficking, maybe, or maybe kidnapping, or selling organs, maybe. All these, illegal activities are conducted in this dark web, dark side, right? So, yes, we have to be safe from this internet. It's not just the Google, Facebook, or whatever you refer. There's more than that when it comes to internet. Right. This question might be a very useful one. Why you should learn ethical hacking? So now we understand, yes, we are using internet a lot. We have to know cybersecurity, right? To protect or safeguard ourselves from this dangerous internet. Now I'm talking about another term called why ethical. What is ethical hacking? So forget about this ethical word. Let's focus on hacking. What is hacking? Hacking is, right, without permission, you get into someone else's system. Without your permission, if I can get into your mobile phone and get something, it's hacking. We get into the system. We get the control of someone else's system. It might be a mobile phone, it might be a computer, or it might be if I can get into a computer and get you all your personal information. My intention might be different, right? But ultimately I want to get into a computer somehow through one of the 4 weaknesses I have explained to you, right? Then the reason why we have to know about ethical hacking as a cybersecurity student. Now, for example, if you want to catch a thief, the police should always focus on how thieves work. What new technologies all these thieves use, right? Then that would be easy for a policeman to catch all these thieves, right? So if we know the hacker's mindset only, we can protect ourselves from the hackers. Am I correct? If we know what would be the hacker's next move, how hackers work, how hackers try to get into our system only, then we can come with a very safe, proper safeguard, isn't it? So that's why we learn ethical hacking. So there are many courses in different universities where provide the knowledge of ethical hacking. So what do you think the difference between ethical hacking and hacking? Nothing different, but only the permission. There's no skill gap between ethical hackers and hackers. You can't say hackers are best, ethical hackers are worse, ethical hackers are best, hackers are worse. Ultimately both are hacking. But with permission, if I do, it's ethical hacking. Without permission, it's hacking. So there's nothing called good or bad. Huh? If you hack for good things, you have become an ethical hacker. If you hack for bad things, no. Not good, bad here. Permission, without permission. But hacking is a skill set. Why you guys have to learn, or why you guys have to learn ethical hacking is, as I said before, if you understand the mindset of the ethical hacker or the hackers only, the criminals, then only you can come with a very cost-effective safeguard. All these safeguards like firewalls, antivirus software and all everything, they are not freely available for you. You have to buy them. So you have to know what solutions that you have to get perfectly to suit your problems. The problems I get from the internet is not the problem you get. The problem you get is not the problem by you guys get, because you do different business in the internet. I may be a student, you may be a businessman. The attacks target me, won't be targeting you, right? So we are different. So based on our business we do in the internet, we get different cyber problems. So we have to know how hackers think, what different strategies they use to get into our system. So our next slide is, you can see some phases. What ethical hackers, not ethical hackers, all hackers follow. These are 5 phases. Recon. What hackers do, they collect information about you. This is the phase they're going to spend loads of time, sometimes years. They are monitoring you, they collect information. They see what you guys are watching. They see what you guys are surfing in the internet. They want to know about you, they get into your social media, they try to become a friend. What is the highest level of security we have in the social media? So you guys are using social media a lot, right? Facebook, LinkedIn, or WhatsApp. What do you think the highest level of security you have for your information? Because you are uploading everything in Mark Zuckerberg's computer, right? Isn't it? You are trusting Mark Zuckerberg's computer than your computer. You are uploading everything there. And also, right, there's an option called only to you, right? Only you can see. There's an option, right? When you post something, you can make it only to you. If it's only to you, why are you uploading it into someone else's computer? You can keep it in your pen drive. So there's no use of making this only to you option. Then what would be the most, good option for you? Friends only, right? That's only available to the friends. So what hackers do, if they want to get all your information, they try to become your friend, right? If they can become your friend, right, they can collect all your sensitive information. So they try their best to become your friend, right? Then they can surf and get all sensitive information. So recon is such a phase, very important phase. In other words, in general terms, we call gathering information about our victim. If you are my victim, I started researching about you. I started gathering information about you. I try to become a friend of you and collect all your sensitive information. I maintain a database for you, right? Scanning is, you look for the weaknesses now. Since I know about you, I know your lifestyle now, I can look for some weaknesses in you. What different weaknesses you have? Do you have a user weakness? Do you have a system weakness? Do you have a protocol weakness? Are you using a weak protocol for your communication? Or else, do you have any configuration issues? So I'm so keen on getting your weaknesses, right? I'm highlighting, I'm prioritizing them. So once I get to know your weakness, then I should be eligible, I should be prepared to get in and use that weakness. I should have necessary resources. So exploiting is, we call gaining access. Through the weakness of you, I try to get into your systems. Through the weakness, I try to get into your system. Then, once I get into the system, it's a very rare opportunity, right? I don't want to waste it. I want to sustain in that machine for a long time without getting caught to your security software like virus, firewall. So I have to cover myself there and be there for a long time. We call APIIT, Advanced Persistent Threat. We try to be there for a long time, maybe for 1 year without your notice. Sometimes you guys may be using internet, but without your notice there can be some software running in the background, right? Even you have no idea. They can be there for a long time and collect all the information sometimes. They can, right? There's a thing called keylogger. How many of you know? There's a software called keylogger which can run in your background. Whatever you type using your keyboard can be collected. So what is the big deal? You may think, I might chat with my colleagues. That's what? No, the keyboard is the only thing you use for everything. Like for example, if you are entering your username with the password, can be collected. If you are entering your credit card information when you are purchasing something, can be collected. But you don't get any signs for that because they are running in the background. Are you getting it? So this is the story for 80% of the internet users. I'm not talking about you guys. You may be vigilant about it. But 80% of the internet users, they are not worrying about it. They are looking at the results only. For example, if they want to buy something from Daraz or something, they just focus on it. When the purchase is done, that's it. But in the background, there are lots of things running like this. You have to be so careful. So maintaining access, right? It's what they try to be in the system for a long time because they have to fulfill their requirement. Weakness, finding an exploit, then exploit it successfully. Now they spend already 1 year to gather your information, not just to say hi and go. They want to be in the system for a long time and gather loads of information regarding you, right? And also finally, they are not doing a charity work here, man. They are doing a crime. So they want to clear all the tracks, evidence, right? Everything they did on that system should be erased now, right? So that is clearing tracks. So is that fine for you guys? The 5 phases ethical hackers, not ethical hackers, hackers follow, right? Record, gathering info, scanning for weaknesses, utilizing one of the weaknesses and getting into the system, then try to be in the system for a long time and do whatever they wanted, right? And finally, once they are done, they clear all the tracks and leave. Sometimes you may be hacked several times, but you have no idea. This is how your information is getting leaked. Since the session is just for an introductory thing, right? I'm just giving you this information, but they are very deep concepts. We have to learn them, right? Ethical hacking techniques would be password cracking, right? There are some tools available to crack your passwords, not only your social profiles, but also some powerful things like Wi-Fi. We can crack and get the password. There are ways of doing it. And social engineering, I told you, people underestimate this because this is not technical. But 80% of the cyber attacks are conducted through social engineering, tricking human. Human is the weakest entity in this IT system. So tricking a system is not that much easy, but tricking the use of the system is so easy. Are you getting it? Because we are emotionally attached, right? And vulnerability scanning is, as I said before, we have 4 types of weaknesses, right? We try to identify the exact weakness, but the modern trend is, right, there are vulnerability scanners. They can identify the exact weaknesses of you. It's like scanning, right? You go to a hospital, if you do a scan, they identify all your diseases, right? So likewise, if I give the IP address of a system, they can run and get all the weaknesses of it. Then it's easy for hackers to get into this. They identify your weaknesses. And also the popular tools we use, like Kali Linux, I heard about it. One of the software, one of the operating system we have, where we have all inbuilt tools. You don't have to pay for anything. So this tool is not for hackers, right? This tool is there for cybersecurity professionals, right? But you know, right? How can we say whether you're a cybersecurity professional? Maybe you're working well in the day and working to the dark side in the evening. We don't know, right? Maybe you're part-time, you're attached to some dark web. We don't know, right? In the daytime, you're a software engineer. In the evening, you're becoming a malware engineer. Both you do based on the requirements. We don't know, right? So these tools are there for ethical hackers. Not only for them, but hackers are using a lot. Especially the tools like Kali Linux, Nmap for scanning, Metasploit for exploiting, and Wireshark is a tool, right? They can gather, sniff. How many of you know you guys are so convenient with Wi-Fi, right? When you access something. But if I switch on a Wireshark packet sniffer, I can gather all your information to my computer without your notice. Because wireless, we always say wireless is unguided, right? When it's like I'm speaking to you. Everyone can hear, not only you guys, anyone can hear that. From my strength of the voice, they can hear whatever I say. So same thing with the Wi-Fi. Your access point is somewhere there, you are here. The connection between you and the access point is wireless. If the signal goes from your computer, anyone can get the signal. So sniffing, we call sniff. We sniff and collect your info. Are you getting it? So the 4 different techniques, not only this, these are some very popular 4 techniques. There are 20, 100, more than 100 techniques we use as hackers. So emerging trends in cybersecurity. This is the lesson for today, not the lesson. This is the talk for today. But before I dive into this, I gave you a brief introduction about cybersecurity and how, why cybersecurity is important, why ethical hacking is so important for you guys, right? And you learn the phases of ethical hacking, right? Now I'll tell you the new trends, the future of cybersecurity. So you guys are so aware about AI, right? So many of you are asking, is there any degree programs based on AI? There's no doubt about it. AI is going to rule. Already it's ruling. There's no doubt. So the problem for cybersecurity is, if hackers start using AI technologies to hack us, then we should know AI to protect. So AI-based cyber attacks are in the near future. We have to know AI to protect ourselves from AI-based cyber attacks. There's nothing wrong in it, right? So that's why we have to learn AI. And also zero trust architecture. So normally we get problems from the internet, right? That's why I said. It's like we trust everyone from our home, but we doesn't trust outside, right? But now the problem is inside us are also problematic. Internal people also problematic. There are disgruntled employees. There can be spies available. There can be, have you heard about attacks like Sony breach attack? So Sony company, one of the film producers, they had this problem where they started getting one of their internal employees, they started selling all their movies to be released to outsiders. And that's a Singh hospital in the sense in Singapore. They had this insider attack. Not outsiders are attacking now. Insiders, unhappy employees, they started working against the institution. So if that is the case, we can't trust anyone, including the CEO of the company. We can't trust now. So everyone should be verified. Everyone should be asked for a password. Everyone should be asked for the proof. That's what I'm trying to say here. So cloud security, so yes, we all are so keen on moving to cloud. There's nothing wrong in it. So sophisticated environment. It's a cost-effective environment for many of us. But the problem is security part. Because we all are depend on Mark Zuckerberg, right? We are storing everything in Mark Zuckerberg's computer. Cloud computing is something like we try to store everything in a cloud. It's owned by someone else. So that's a big question, right? Why can't these people misuse our information? Right? They say different things. They say that you can trust us, but we don't have a way of verifying whether they are securing information, whether they are misusing our information, whether they are selling our information to the dark web. We have no idea. I'm not saying they're doing it, but I have no way of verifying it. Whether my information in the cloud is misused. How can you say? No way. So it's a problem, right? And ransomware, I told you the problem of ransomware. This is going to be the biggest problem in the future, right? So if you see latest 10 cyber attacks, 9 of them are from ransomware because it's easy, anyone can conduct, right? The impact is so high. So what would be the solution? Now the modern ransomware is, they target two things. What they do, they first get into the system and steal all your personal information. Now they have some personal information to blackmail you. At the same time, now encrypt that. So it's called double extortion. They have two things to blackmail you. Already they can say, I can sell your personal information to the dark web if you are not paying the ransom. Right? Already you need the key because tomorrow is a very important day based on this information. You need the information, so you need the key as well. So they put you into that situation. Two things, they blackmail and as well as they encrypt everything and put you into this situation. As I explained to you earlier, ransomware is a problem. Future of cybersecurity, right? Quantum computing. How many of you have heard about quantum computing? Quantum computing. So to be in a brief way, if I explain quantum computing, the modern computing that you guys are using has only two states, 0 and 1. But quantum computing has three states, 0, 1, 0, 1. So it's so powerful. It needs source of energy. It can break any security solutions nowadays. It's going to be a so sophisticated system for ethical hackers. So you guys have to come up with security solutions which are totally can fight against computing, quantum computing, right? And IoT, how many of you have heard about IoT, Internet of Things? Early it was Internet of Computers, then Internet of Things, because everything started connecting, including mobile phones. Now it's not Internet of Things, it's Internet of anything. Anything can connect to Internet, right? So you have to think about security there. The cybersecurity regulations, right, it's going to rule because there are loads of involvement in the Internet. So there should be regulatory bodies like HIPAA and loads of things like PCI, DSS, DSI. All these solutions are there, are regulatory bodies, right, should be there to govern your information as well as yourself. So the conclusion might be like cybersecurity, we learned why cybersecurity is needed because you all are using internet a lot. Then why ethical hacking should be studied as a part of cybersecurity. I told you to understand the hacker's mindset and come up with a perfect solution. Then emerging trends would be, right, if you know the emerging trends and what would be your challenges in the future, only you can safeguard yourself well in the future. So with all this information, I can wind up the session, right? That's all my planned things for today's kind of seminar. But I can spend 5 minutes, and if you have any questions on this area that I have covered, you can ask. It's open to you. If there's no question in the sense, there are two things. One, you have understood everything. The other thing is you haven't understood anything. So, is that a second option or the first option? Thanks. Thanks a lot. Any question, guys? Anything you want to clarify regarding the content, what you guys have to learn when we work with the Lecturer, what certifications you guys have to be so good at? So CH would be the good starter, but anything to happen, you have to have a good understanding on the networking. So it's internet security, don't forget that. Cyber security means internet security. Without knowing about internet, you can't think about securing it. So knowing about internet is all about networking. So you need at least a good network base, then you can focus on certification like CH, Certified Ethical Hacker. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So safeguarding yourselves, the first thing is, I don't want to say this software is good, this software is bad and all. First, you have to understand your weaknesses. So every time when you surf internet, you have to be so careful, right? Whenever you switch on your data, you have to be so careful. It's like you are connected to the highway while you are sleeping. So when you switch on means you are connected to the internet. Do you sleep or not, you are connected to the internet. That means what? Others can get into your machine at any time. So you have to be so careful. One important thing is, right, when you are not using your webcam, that's why now the new thing is they come up with a cover. You can just place a sticker on it. Because if I can get into a system, right, I can switch on your webcam remotely. I can be in Sri Lanka, but I can switch on someone's phone, the camera, and take a snapshot of that person without the person's notice. So try to read about the cybersecurity incidents. That would be my first advice for you. So start reading about cybersecurity news, not all these political drama. I'm asking you to read about cybersecurity news, right? There are lots like SANS. There's a site called SANS. Have you heard about it? SANS. SANS News Bytes. SANS is one of the popular cyber institution based on Australia. If you subscribe for them, you get the news bytes, right? I don't have the time to show you everything now, but SANS News Byte, SANS News Bytes. When you subscribe for them, you get cybersecurity news every day. So which system got hacked by ransomware, how they hacked. You study simply the attacks, the modern trends, modern cyber things a lot. So as a starter, do that. You try to become a cybersecurity person. If you are a cricket fan, right, you seek for cricket news. For a cybersecurity guy, you have to seek for cybersecurity news. So news are the best way where you could get into this field. Then you understand what exactly happening in this field. Then the rest of the things would be so easy. Yes, brother. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your valuable time for attending this. Thanks a lot.